Hello, everyone, and welcome to iReadit, bringing you your daily dose of the internet for Wednesday, March 14th, 2018. I am Michael Schwahn.
And I'm... leave it off.
Leave it off?
Leave it off. Leave it off.
I don't like that one.
Wow, okay. What about Phil Landers?
I like that one better. I'll take that one.
All right.
I know it's a play on leave it off, but I don't feel like that's like a relevant enough or common enough statement that people like say. Like just.
Wow. You think philanders is more of a thing people say than leave it off?
I don't know. Don't you judge me. I'll take Phil Landers. I like that one better.
Sure.
Anyway, please remember, everyone, you can help support this show by going to patreon.com/dailyinternet. We go live Monday through Thursday, normally at 6 p.m. Alaska time, normally on Facebook and YouTube, but YouTube is busted right now through our broadcasting software, and it is 6:15 instead of 6 o'clock. Nathan's bus is late, and I was busy taking a friend that had recently had an appendectomy. I was taking him a London fog. So, we started a little bit late.
At my job, we call them London frogs.
Why?
No.
Also, I didn't know a London fog was a drink or anything that even existed outside of fog that was in London until like 6 months ago when he ordered one time when we went to get coffee.
Yeah, it's like milk and tea, isn't it?
I don't know.
It's like steamed milk and tea.
He explained it to me, and I kind of listened, and then, well, stopped listening.
Well, yeah.
Because,
you know.
I took a drink of it, I was like, that's tasty, I'll never order it.
Why not?
I don't know, because I'm a basic-ass bitch that just orders, like, 2 different drinks.
So my mom just invited me to watch the video that I'm currently watching and in right now.
No, the one that you are taking part in?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mom. I appreciate it.
I mean, it's no different than when I tag you in memes that you shared.
Yeah.
I do that on purpose.
I share those again because, you know.
I know people that, like, accidentally do it. I do that 100% on purpose.
Oh, I know.
Just to make you look at it again. And to make it show up twice in your notifications.
That's fine.
That's fine. Everything's fine. How was your day, though, sir?
I mean, it was a day. It started off, I felt real shitty because I ate a bunch of
milk
products last night.
Yeah, cheese.
And then I went to work and I drank a cup of coffee and
it had milk in it?
No, it didn't. It was just a black cup of coffee, no sugar.
Sure.
And then it tasted so good, I did it again.
You know, Nathan, you were saying a couple days ago, or maybe last week, that you thought that maybe your lactose intolerance had gotten better.
Well, I had a lot last night, Michael. Fuck you.
What did you have? Were you just like nomming on a block of cheese? Just
fondue, pretty much.
Yeah. You're just nomming on melted cheese. Got it. Was it good at least?
Hell yeah.
Was it worth the pain?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was?
Yep.
That's good. So, anything else, or do you just want to jump straight into news?
It was real good.
Yeah, okay, cool.
Let's go into it, because it's pie day, and I'm going to go and make pizza pie, and then pie afterwards.
Pie was on sale at Fred Meyer's today for $3.14, and I'm like, damn, that's a cheap-ass pie.
Why didn't I get paid today? I'm so upsetty.
You didn't get your check today?
No.
Oh, I'm sorry. I got paid today.
Shut the fuck up.
Well, you know, if you wanted to go direct deposit...
Absolutely not.
Absolutely not. We all know the reasons why.
5.
Democrat Conor Lamb declares victory in Pennsylvania special election.
This was submitted by Slasia to Art Politics.
This is both a piece of news piece as well as like a little reminder statement for everybody. There was a special election in Canonsburg, Pennsylvania, where Democrat Conor Lamb took over the congressional seat. There have been several Republican seats, red seats, that have been turning blue over the last year in special elections. We now have the 2018 midterm elections, which are coming up, and people are calling it the Blue Midterm 2018, as people are expected to jump ship from the Republican boat, the grand old party, and embrace the Blue Democrats. Now,
Which is funny because that region didn't have Democrats.
No, in fact, President Trump won that region by a 20-point margin. So,
but gerrymandering.
Now, the important thing, though, is whenever, because this has happened before, we had a news topic of like 47 seats have turned blue, people hate Trump. It's like, well, those things aren't directly related, but I understand what you're getting at. The thing is that nobody in America is ever happy with their government, period, ever. And the cycle of our government has been the same since forever. And that is, we get a bunch of Republicans in office, people aren't happy, so it goes from red to blue. We put a bunch of Democrats in office, people aren't happy, so you only have two options, and you're like, oh, this blue option isn't working, we'll try red. Oh, red's not working, we'll go back to blue. That's all it does. It's just they literally just trade all the damn time. So, just a quick reminder that all of these seats that are changing blue is not a surprise. They're changing blue faster than we would expect, and that could be because people don't like Trump and the current course that our country is on, but it is expected to happen. And then we're going to get a bunch of Democrats in the office, whether in the White House or in the Congress or in your local state legislature, and you're not going to be happy with what they do either, and then you're going to vote them out and replace them with whoever the opposition is.
It'll just flip-flop until we get rid of a two-party government, which will never happen.
Yeah, probably not. Like, unless there's I thought it
All
might.
right. So Joe in the chat says someone should check their pulse because if they're turning blue, they might be dead. But someone should check if they're turning red because you might be a fucking communist.
Funny on both sides. Hilarious. Better dead than red? Is that what you're getting at, Nathan? Yeah. I really thought that the two-party system might change in 2016. There was such a heavy push for the third parties. It
was real close. Like, libertarians were really pushing it. They were the biggest one.
They were, 1.4% off?
Yeah, and then, so then there's the Green Party.
Real quick, also, and what we're talking about is that, especially in major elections, everyone says, don't vote third party. You are wasting your vote. That is
so fucking rude.
It is also not true.
And you're propagating wrong shit.
In the presidential election, if a third-party candidate gets 5% of the total votes, which Gary Johnson with the Libertarian Party 2 years ago now, got 3.6% of the vote. If you would have got 5%, it would have immediately made the Libertarian Party considered an official party for the federal government. And so they would be given full rights, full access to everything that the Republicans and Democrats get through the federal government. They would be a federally recognized party from there on out. They would be considered it would become a three-party system. Now, if you still only vote for the two parties, it's, but it would then become a third-party system. So you are not throwing away your vote. Another comparison, it is no secret that I work for the Alaska Public Offices Commission, which is the regulatory enforcement commission for the state of Alaska. If you run for an election in Alaska, you have to talk to me. My commission, which is the five big bosses that exist, my commission currently has 2 Republicans, 1 public member, and 2 libertarians. And the reason for that is because in our statutes, the appointments to my commission are dictated by the 2 parties that received the largest number of votes in the last gubernatorial election. And in the last election, the 2 that got the most were Republicans and libertarians. So libertarians got to put people on our commission. So don't think that voting a party that is not Republican and is not Democrat is a wasted vote.
Yeah. And just because, you don't like the other fucking party doesn't mean other people don't like that party.
Yeah, vote for what you believe in.
Mm-hmm. Which is why I voted Green Party, unfortunately.
It's not unfortunate. The unfortunate thing from the third parties is that they steal each other.
The unfortunate thing was that the candidate was constantly getting kicked out of every place she tried to campaign.
Jill Stein?
Yeah.
The bigger unfortunate thing with third parties is that there is more than one third party. So the third party candidates altogether actually got more than 5% of the vote, but it was split between them. So they didn't achieve that 5% margin that they needed.
Which is real unfortunate. We almost got there.
Almost. We'll see what happens. Well, it won't matter in 2018, but we'll see what happens in 2020.
Yeah, I guess so.
So, either way, congratulations to Mr. Conor Lamb. I hope you are ready to deal with the cesspool that is Congress.
Yeah, I mean,
4.
hoping.
John McCain. Trump's CIA pick was involved in one of the darkest chapters in American history.
This is submitted by PPVV Gooch NJ to Our Politics.
So we talked yesterday about Donald Trump not firing, but replacing Flex Tillerson as the Secretary of State. The Secretary of State was being replaced with the current, at the time, CIA director, but that left a vacancy in the CIA director, Mike Pompeo's slot, and so that had to be filled. So that was filled with what is her name again? I completely friggin' forgot. Gina Haspel. That's who is taking over the CIA. The problem that John McCain has is that Gina Haspel has been involved with and is a large advocate for an extremely large amount of torture across detainees in the United States. And he does not believe or agree that somebody that is such an advocate for such a terrible act against humanity should be the person that is in charge of the CIA.
Yeah, I can understand where he's coming from there.
So, because Haspel joined the CIA in 1985, and she actually helped propagate waterboarding and other interrogation techniques.
Have you ever been waterboarded?
No.
I have. Kind of.
I don't. Probably not to the extent that they do it.
No. Absolutely not. I was really curious in middle school. It was like middle school, high school, and so an old friend of mine. I had essentially lied at an angle, and they put a towel over my face. And they dumped a bucket of water on it, and he held me down to so I could see what it's like, and it was not fun.
Yeah, I believe it.
That never happened again.
And John McCain, coming from somebody who was a prisoner of war and was waterboarded and tortured in many other various things that he doesn't want to talk about, is very much against the torturing of captured people, regardless of who they are, because it is a terrible thing to do to a person. And he is not okay that the person who basically encouraged and actually got us to start torturing people in Thailand is now the person that is leading the CIA.
It's going to be an interesting time in America until a lot of people get voted out or taken out.
Yeah, the problem is you don't vote for, the director of the CIA.
Right, that's why I said taken out.
Sure. But
and not mean, killing.
Well, I mean...
That'd be kind of a little fucked up.
She probably doesn't want to be killed. She probably wants to be tortured.
Most people don't want to be killed.
Except for you.
Sure, actually, probably a lot of people want to be killed. Damn, I just fucked that up.
So, we'll see what happens. I mean, everything is so up in the air right now. I mean, the White House has such a huge turnover rate because people just don't want to be associated.
Because it's the new Apprentice.
Oh, don't do that. The White House should not be a reality TV show. Although with half the people that people are like, yeah, this person should run for president. It's damn close, considering every single person that is called to run for president is just a celebrity right now.
Yeah. I mean,
you had
they're the most known people at the moment.
You had Chris Rock saying that he was going to run to be a senator from Chicago, I think.
That's how we got Arnold Schwarzenegger, and before that, Jesse Ventura, and before that, one of our ex-presidents, actually, Ronald Reagan.
Right.
So it's not unheard of for people to be voting for famous people.
No, but it also, Ronald Reagan was a very, is unpopular a word? He was not a very well-liked president.
Don't tell that to certain Republicans.
Nathan, we couldn't do this show without offending somebody.
That's fair.
Hell, we've offended each other before.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Frequently.
But, yeah, Ronald Reagan wasn't a very popular president. And
no.
So, Arnold Schwarzenegger managed to pull it off and was a pretty well-liked governor. But that doesn't mean that they're all going to be that way. People were calling for Oprah to run for president and Dwayne The Rock Johnson to run for president. And then people were like, no. And then there was the joke about Tom Hanks running for president. Everyone's like, yeah. And it's like, ah.
All right, so if you can vote for one famous person to be president, who would it be?
One famous person to be president, huh?
Yeah.
One famous person. Damn, the person that I immediately wanted to name is dead.
No.
Yeah.
Unfortunate.
Yeah.
You can't elect a corpse.
Yeah, right? Otherwise, straight to Mr. Rogers.
For real, actually.
Yeah, that was my first
Bob
choice.
Ross, maybe?
Isn't he also dead?
Yeah.
Okay. Let's see.
One current living person.
One current living person.
That's the problem. The living.
Damn.
Everyone's trash nowadays.
Right, in one way or another. Joe Biden.
He's famous now, yeah, sure.
Do you know it's technically legal for Joe Biden to run for president and Barack Obama to be his vice
Barack
president?
Obama to be, yeah.
They will not.
I'm very aware of it.
They absolutely will not. Brett in the chat room says Bill Gates. The problem is I wouldn't want Bill Gates to run for president because he would be able to do so much less as the president than he is already doing today. Like,
I mean, sometimes you need to have that to happen if someone has that amount of sway.
Sure, but I feel like he is doing more good right now with the money he has and his involvement with the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation and everything he's pushing for. He's doing more right now than he could as president.
Bill Gates is a really solid option, actually.
Joe McLaughlin says not Oprah. I agree, not Oprah. Bruce Willis. I'm going to go with no. Elon Musk, Brett says, again, I feel like he's able to do so much more by not being president.
Yeah. You run into the problem of having the super, super rich.
Like, well, it's not even just the super rich. Like, the super rich doesn't necessarily need to be the ones that
That's
need to
true.
be president.
Jeff Bezos is up there, and he's kind of a dickhead.
Yeah, absolutely not on Jeff Bezos. Bezos. It's more of that, like, people like Elon Musk and Bill Gates are already doing so much for the world.
Warren Buffett?
He's not doing anything. He's just a really old rich guy.
He's famous for being a really old rich guy.
What point do you have to get to that you are famous just because you're rich?
When people know your name because you're rich.
I guess. There's a lot of billionaires I don't know their name, even though they're, like, Mondo rich.
Yeah, so they're not popular enough.
Trying to think of... Like, I'm trying to think of, in the vein of what actually has been called for so far, I'm trying to think of a Hollywood personality.
Bernie Sanders, he's a famous now.
Another person my brain thought of is with the way that he has been recently, Jim Carrey. He seems to be.
Oh man, he's fucking woke. Let's get Jim Carrey in office.
He seems like
one morning he'll wake up as president, the next morning he'll wake up as prime minister.
He's much more down to earth than he used to be.
Is he down to earth? I'm pretty sure he's fucking flying through
soaring
the
through the fucking clouds.
He's always been kind of, but when he really started doing mushrooms and everything, that's when he got woke as fuck.
Yeah. So, I really don't know. Brett in the chat room says one of the late night hosts. So you mean like crap, with all of their names just left my head. All of them.
More like their writing teams, yeah.
So crap, what are their names? What are the names of all, like Conan O'Brien, there's one.
Keep going. I believe in you.
Not Steve Carell is not his name. He reminds me of Steve Carell, though.
It's on the tip of your tongue.
Well, there's Jimmy Kimmel.
Okay. And Jimmy
Fallon.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, Steve
the
Colbert. That's it, Steve Colbert. And what is the dude's name that replaced the dude on the Tonight Show?
You're going to have to figure that one out.
I can't even remember the dude's name from before.
I can't give you that.
You can't?
No, especially since he's not an American.
Shut up.
So he can't be running for president.
Oh, it's not the Tonight Show. What is it, The Daily Show? All these things have the same name. Trevor Noah, that's his name. And who did
his stand-up was gold.
Who did he replace? Jon Stewart. Jeez, that was hard.
Who is also a Green Lantern.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. Brett was talking about Jon Stewart. Joe says we might as well elect Dave Chappelle. No, I'm gonna go with no on that one.
Yo, he endorsed Trump.
What about you?
Me?
You throw out some names that aren't Bernie Sanders.
Dave Grohl.
No, no.
Guillermo del Toro.
Wow. No.
I guess a living legend. Except I don't think he's English or he's American.
Lee Stewart says Daniel
This
Tosh.
is Daniel Tosh. Hell yeah.
You
just roast everyone.
Fuck it, Steve-O.
I mean, he's gotten a lot better.
He has. He's been completely sober from everything for 10 years, and he's been doing a lot more activist work, a lot better person than he used to be.
Yeah. Yeah. So, I mean, that's good on him.
Chris Pratt. Chris Pratt. There you go.
Crispy Rat.
Yep, Crispy Rat.
Actually, of the Chris's, I probably wouldn't choose Chris Pratt.
No? But he's the best of the Chris's.
He is the best of the Chris's, but I don't know if he'd be the best for president.
I just want somebody who is
I think that's probably Chris Evans.
I just want somebody who is a good-hearted person. Is really what I'm looking for.
Chris Evans.
Sure. I'll take Chris. Captain America. Let's elect Captain America.
Captain America's right-leaning.
Brett says Trevor Noah. He literally can't. He's from South Africa. Philip DeFranco, you're hilarious. But he can't run until 2024 anyway. My video just paused. Is yours video still going?
So, yeah, no, it's not. Chadwick says, "Are there any right-leaning people you'd like to see, or only lefties?"
I don't even know. Did I name? Was all the people I named left-leaning? I have no idea what most of these people's.
Yeah, I don't know the political affiliations of those people, but I imagine that I just threw out a bunch of names because they're famous, which is what most people would do. And if I was really serious about finding someone who's a celebrity to be president, I would actually look at their policies.
Yeah, like I mean. I realize we named a lot of the talk show hosts, and a vast majority of them are all left-leaning. But people like Stephen Colbert have actually normally been pretty down the road, but he is getting such massive...
Neil deGrasse Tyson.
I can't do anything. It says the frames are still being sent to you. Let me try reloading the video.
Broadcast interrupted.
You need to reload the video.
Oh, okay. I would vote for Neil deGrasse Tyson.
I would not. The dude is kind of fucking crazy.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah. Yeah, the dude's kind of crazy.
Vote for him.
What I was trying to say, though, is with the talk show hosts, like Jon Stewart, Steve Colbert, etc., what was I getting at? Oh, like Steve Colbert normally tried to stay pretty down the middle of the road, but his ratings have went through the friggin' roof since he decided to start making fun of Trump every night. And so at this point, it's about money, for him.
Yeah.
You have to.
I mean, because that's what people want to see, unfortunately, and he's.
Well, yeah, and you pander to your audience so that they will continue to watch and continue to give more money. It's why Fox News has become such a right pro-Trump news organization, despite trying what the mainstream media is supposed to be neutral. But I mean, you have CNN far left, Fox News far right, and that's because that's what gets them money. And Steve Colbert's the same way. He made fun of Trump a couple of nights, and a whole bunch of people tuned in because it was funny that he was making fun of Trump. And the people that are in charge of the show went, "Man, you make a lot of money when you make fun of Trump. You should just keep doing that." And, well, boom. So,
yeah. Yeah, it's unfortunate.
So, but I don't know. And the other problem is when I think of, right-leaning talk show hosts, I think of, Sean Hannity and Alex Jones, both of which are, fucking no's.
But they're turning the frickin' frogs gay, Michael.
So I don't know.
Oh God,
like
Mogul.
rattle off some
him in half.
some right-leaning celebrities, and I'll let you know. But like I literally just rattled off names, so I don't know.
Well, I mean, to be fair, Schwarzenegger is Republican.
That's true. That's true. And I liked a lot of his policies. Of course, like in the beginning of the 2016 presidential election, the candidate that I liked the most was Marco Rubio, a Republican.
That makes one of us.
That's fine, Nathan. That's fine. So, yeah. I mean, and like even with the CNN town hall that was held after the Marjorie Stoneman Douglas shooting, like of the three lawmakers that were up there, there was 2 Democrats and 1 Republican. The 1 Republican being Marco Rubio. The 2 Democrats did nothing but repeat ad nauseum, "Let's ban all the guns," and had the crowd cheer for them. And Marco Rubio tried to have a conversation and actually point out the difficulties of what was being proposed and why he didn't like this or what he wanted to do about that. And it garnered even more respect from me. He actually is willing to talk about things and not just yell the same thing over and over again. Chadwick says Ben Shapiro. Apparently he says Chris Pratt is a Republican. Sure, that's fine. I mean, he's like, whatever. I personally do not like Ben Shapiro at all, regardless of his views. I don't like him as a person. I think he strives to get his attention by being an asshole and not the good kind. So I would not I wouldn't want to see Ben Shapiro in anything. I do not like him at all. Chadwick also Little Marco. He likes Little Marco. So yeah. Now, like in terms of who I would actually like to see run, obviously the short list. I don't like. I would need to take a longer look at to see who's even considering it. I think Elizabeth Warren should try to run because I think she'd have significantly more success than Hillary Clinton did. I think Bernie Sanders should try again, although Elizabeth Warren and Bernie Sanders would kill their own votes pretty damn, like they would hurt each other if they both ran. I would like to see Marco Rubio run again.
That's why you don't have Sanders run as a Democrat again. You have him run as third party so that you actually get a third party going.
Sure. I don't know if he can since he's a Democratic senator. I don't know. Brett says Tommy Lahren. No.
Well, why not? Because he can run as an independent.
I don't know. I don't know enough about the federal election process. But I would like to see Elizabeth Warren and or Bernie Sanders run, not on the same party ticket, though. I would like to see Marco Rubio run again, although I think with the recent shootings and the responses from the CNN town hall, I think that his success rate is hindered now, which is unfortunate. If he was able to run, I would like to see Arnold Schwarzenegger run because he has a very different view compared to a lot of standard politicians. Who else would I actually like to see run for president? Like,
I really wish there was more like actual Native American people running. Actually, people of more like minority demographics in general.
I would be interested to see what happens if I don't want him to become president, but I would be interested to see what happens if Mark Zuckerberg actually ran for president. I know that's been a rumor that's being passed around quite a bit.
Could we please not? He would make America more of a business.
Yeah.
They're already getting like a citizen score in China. We don't need any more of that in America.
That's fair.
Because that is literally the plot of a Black Mirror episode.
Is it?
Yeah,
I've not watched any Black Mirror, but I know the concept.
There's definitely a plot of a Black Mirror episode about people having social scores and a woman losing her entire social score.
That's unfortunate.
I don't know. It kind of worked out, but kind of didn't.
There's also an episode of Community that's about that. Meow meow
Weird.
beans. Meow meow beans.
Pretty
Yeah.
cool.
I don't know, but we've been on this topic for a while, so shall we move on?
Yeah.
Cool.
3.
A startup is pitching a mind uploading service that is 100% fatal.
Sign me up. This is submitted by Asterisk Space to R Not the Onion.
So this is a concept is more than anything. Don't get excited. They are
I'm
not
funding it. I want to be One of the first people who do it.
They are not actually able to upload your brain to a computer right now. Instead, they have discovered a new way to a high-tech embalming process to borderline perfectly preserve your brain. Every single cell and molecule perfectly preserved. So the idea is, and they will perfectly preserve your brain, and then later, when the technology has caught up, they will take your brain in its perfectly preserved state and upload it into a computer.
Deal.
No, Nathan, no.
Yeah, let's do it. Yeah.
They're just going to kill you and stick your brain in a jar.
Then I get to be a brain in a jar? Yeah, sold.
You're going to be a... crap, what is the monkey's name from Star Fox?
Oh, fuck.
What is his name?
I don't know.
I can't remember.
Just call me Abby.
Abby?
Abby Normal.
What is his name? Andros, that's his name.
Oh yeah,
You're just gonna be
the main big bad. Yeah.
Yeah, you're just gonna be an Andros.
No, I was thinking more of like brain in a jar in D&D.
Chadwick says it won't fix the crazy, Nathan.
That's fine.
No pig.
Then I'll be living forever, and then I'll be the depressed robot from Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy.
A solemn simulacrum, if you will.
Yes, I will be a sad robot.
Perfect. 2. United Kingdom expels 23 Russian diplomats. Russian state assets to be frozen as well, and more sanctions to be announced.
This is submitted by Ramen4 to Our World News.
So, the midnight deadline for Russia to own up to the nerve agent that was delivered to the former Russian spy turned British spy that was given to both him and his daughter. They were given until midnight to say, yes, it was us, and own up to it. Russia did not do so. And so...
why would they? They're Russia.
Yeah, right. So the United Kingdom is going to be expelling 23 Russian diplomats. They're not happy. Everything that Russia has in the United Kingdom is going to be frozen, and then they're going to be looking at bringing even more sanctions against Russia for killing people within their borders.
Yeah, there was like a meeting today at the UN, and the Americans acknowledged that Russia did it.
Yep. And
interesting.
On top of that, the Russian embassy has responded saying that this is unacceptable, unjustified, and short-sighted.
Yeah.
Yep.
But they said that they would be willing to work with the UK in figuring out what happened, as long as they get sent samples.
Real quick, Vivi, you thought I meant Peppy? Peppy's a rabbit, not a monkey.
Wow.
Yep.
He can be whatever the fuck he wants to be.
He's a rabbit, Nathan.
He can be whatever the fuck he wants to be.
You know, I'm willing to accept gender fluidity and all of that bullshit, but if you start telling me you're a dog, Nathan, I'm going to call you out on it.
Why would I be a dog?
You're a human being.
I'm obviously a sloth.
Whatever. A human sloth.
A very big talking sloth.
No.
It's true.
So
accept it.
I guess we'll just wait and see what happens with Russia. I mean, they're really pushing the envelope on what they can get away with. But at the same time, with the way that like the world is set up with like the United Nations and the non-violent approaches to these things, I don't like what makes Russia stop besides being like, you know, like what are they gonna do?
I don't start a giant war. They're not going to start a giant war.
Not Pepe, David. Peppy. God, these people. Unbelievable. 1. Scientist Stephen Hawking has died at age 76.
Submitted by a really shit username to our news.
That is the wrong person to submit this, but you know what? You have a really shit username, so whatever. We don't have a cause of death yet, but renowned physicist Stephen Hawking has passed away.
I thought he was immortal.
Well, I mean, it's already a miracle that he was alive. I mean, he was diagnosed with ALS when he was 21 years old. Doctors told him that he had no more than 5 years to live, and he lived for another 55 years.
Yeah, that's pretty impressive.
Yeah, like, way to just tell the doctor's diagnosis that it can go shove itself.
Yeah, no, that's real impressive, dude.
So, yeah, I have nothing else to say about this. It is a tragic loss for the world. Stephen Hawking had an incredible mind. It's very unfortunate that Stephen Hawking was was hindered so much by ALS. He did so much and gave the world so much knowledge, even in his extremely hindered state. I mean, he had a tracheotomy when he was like 50 that removed his ability to speak. So even suffering from ALS and being crippled and in a wheelchair, then he was no longer able to even talk normally and had to communicate by using a very special machine that would talk for him. And he still pressed on, still was a professor, still taught classes, and still continued to just bring more and more information to the world.
So Chadwick points out that he was 76 with ALS, and he was like, no cause of death. I am convinced that he was murdered because that man was immortal. He had found immortality.
Well, I mean, we don't know that the ALS is what killed him. He
Watch it be something completely else, just completely different.
Like, he could have had cardiac arrest or something. I mean, at 76 years old, who knows?
It's pretty old.
Yeah. I mean, especially when you are 76 and have as many health problems as he does.
I mean, you're also rich enough to fucking pay for all those health problems.
What was his network? I mean, I know he had sold a lot of books, but I don't know. I don't know how much he was actually worth. How much was Stephen Hawking actually worth? You're gonna make me like read, aren't you?
He had a bunch of cameos on shit, so like probably a lot.
$20 million. So yeah, quite wealthy.
It's pretty good.
Brett says choked on a corn dog.
Ow.
What a way to go. What a way to go.
He wouldn't have been able to eat corn dogs.
No. He wasn't able to eat corn dogs. That's why it's a joke, Nathan.
No, that's why someone murdered him, because they put it in his neck hole.
I'm Mr. Meeseeks. Look at me. Nathan, what'd you care about in the last 24 hours?
It was that United Airlines fucked up again.
They're just like running a fuck up triathlon, aren't they? Like, as much as they can. United Airlines responsible for dog death and overhead locker.
Yeah. I guess that was submitted by someone, but I don't know who it was.
I don't know. You just sent me a link.
So it was me.
It was you. Do you want to tell the story, or would you like me to, sir?
No, I got it.
Okay, go for it.
United Airlines was like, hey, you can take your dog on as long as they are in a, small carrier, large carrier, as long as it's hard,
We should also point out that it is a 10-month-old French bulldog, so it's like the size of a football.
It's tiny.
Yeah, it's like a size of a football.
And his name was like Coquito or something?
I don't know.
So you can take that the box that you're putting it in, and it has to be able to sit underneath the chair in front of you. So this lady had her dog in a bag, and she was going to put it under the chair in front of her. And the employees were like, hey, you need to put the bag in the bag area up top. She's like, but there's a dog in there. And they said that it was cool if I brought him on this way as long as he's under there or some shit. And they're like, no, she needs to go up there. She needs to go up there. So they put him up there. And, the dog was barking a bit because, it was fucking scared. And it was dying and everything because it couldn't breathe and shit. And, the lady couldn't get the dog because she was holding her, 8-month-old baby or some shit.
And there was turbulence on the flight.
Yeah, and there was a massive turbulence on the flight, and the dog died. And the lady and her daughter were crying in the fucking aisle right then and there.
Well, and what makes it even worse, there's multiple eyewitness accounts of them telling her that she had to put the dog in the overhead compartment, which is funny because after the dog was pulled out of the overhead compartment, the flight attendant that had told her to put it in there said she wasn't aware that there was a dog in the dog carrier. So United Airlines, you're just going to have to change your name or something at this point. Like you've beaten the crap and dragged a doctor off of a plane. You have assaulted and dragged a pregnant lady off of a plane, and now you're killing people's dogs. I am baffled.
Yeah, you kind of fucked up real hard there.
You know that they kill more dogs than any other more animals than any other airline by a substantial margin?
I don't think people should be using them.
Yeah.
They need to go under.
Oh, United Airlines, you make me sad. They did refund the mom and her daughter's ticket, though.
They can use that money to go buy a new dog.
Sure.
All like what? Probably $500 per ticket. So like $1,000 for a dog.
Thing I cared about in the last 24 hours is the people listening to this show right now. And it's not just to be cheesy or anything like that. It is a genuine level of appreciation. I shared a photo onto my personal Facebook earlier today. Facebook, because we have this group, because iReadit is considered a group or whatever you want to call it. It's a page on Facebook. They're like, do you want to boost this post? And I get them probably like every 4 hours of like, you should give us money and we'll put this in front of people who will ignore it. But they always just, when they're like pitching that to me, they always just pick a random paused frame from the video. And because me and Nathan are always talking, no matter what, that frozen frame is always bad. Because people, when they're in the middle of speaking, make really funny faces if they are stopped frozen in the middle of saying a word. And every single time it pitches to me or Nathan or both just have this ridiculous look on our face. And so I shared it with just as like a joke thing. And there was just an immense level of support for the show and for people that are like, you sharing this made me go and follow and I enjoy the show, and people showing their support for the show. And me and Nathan have been doing this for a little over 2 years now. This is episode 444. The Patreon is still going. It's still growing. And I just wanted to really state that I appreciate all of you, everyone listening, whether you catch the show live and interact with us live on Facebook and YouTube if it happens, or if you're just downloading the show through something like iTunes or Stitcher or Google Play. I appreciate you because that's what this is. I mean, me and Nathan could have these conversations just sitting on the couch with one another without microphones in front of us, but it wouldn't be nearly as enjoyable if we weren't creating something. And if we didn't have some level of interaction. I mean, Chadwick and Joe in the chat room all the time are slamming and dogging us for, me being a little bit left, Nathan being really far left. But that's what makes the show what it is. And it wouldn't be... The show has completely changed from episode even 100 to now entirely in its entire format, thanks to continued growth and feedback from the people that listen to us. So the thing I cared about in the last 24 hours and really every single day is the people that are listening. Chadwick, yes, I do like you even though you are a right-wing troll. So
yeah, I like Chadwick.
That's what I cared about. You ready to go, though, Nathan? You guess so?
Yeah, I need to go and get ready for Pie Day, because I'm going to go bake a pie and, it's a pizza pie, and I think some brownies, honestly.
Cool. Enjoy. All right, everybody, we are going to get out of here. If you get value out of this show, if you want to support this show or give us a birthday present or, a Christmas present, however you want to think of it, patreon.com/dailyinternet. Help this show grow, help us reach new goals, which will mean new things for you. Extra episodes, bonus episodes, side episodes, additional content. It'll all come slowly, but you have to help us get there. Otherwise, follow and share the show to help it grow on social media, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. All of those are at iReaditCast. You can also catch video versions on Facebook and YouTube. Audio versions, as well as 5-star reviews, help us as well. iTunes, Stitcher, and Google Play. Anything you can do to help the show grow, we appreciate it immensely, and find it anywhere that you might need it. If you got a story you want us to talk about, I don't care if it's from 6 months ago or 6 years ago, send it to us and we will discuss it and talk about it and bring it in front of everybody. You can do so by sending it to our subreddit, which is reddit.com/r/iReaditCast, or send it to us via email, which is feedback.ireddit@gmail.com. And that's it, everybody. If you want to follow me on social media, I am at Schwahn Michael, and Nathan is at Bimmenstein. And that is your 444th dose of the internet, and I am Michael Schwahn.
And I'm Nathan Wood.
And please remember...
actually, no. I was,
Phil Landers. Yep, Phil Landers. Yeah, it's pretty cringeworthy. Anyway, please remember, everybody.
Well, I didn't vote for you.
Have a good day.
Bye.
Bye.